There is one more thing we need to understand, that how this acknowledgement works. So suppose you have queue and you have consumer attached to it. What will happen? A message will be delivered to consumer, then consumer will acknowledge to the queue that I have received message, then it deletes from it. Now what happens is that until unless it receives an acknowledgement, it will not delete the message. Now comes the point is, what will happen that if consumer is consuming messages but it's not delivering any acknowledgement to the queue, then after some time what will happen, that queue will be full with all the messages, and then from exchange messages will not be getting delivered to the queue. So what will happen is that by default this thing is false, that no acknowledgement will be delivered. To cater this thing, there are two things. One is that you will send a manual acknowledgement or no. So what will happen, what do you understand from the manual acknowledgement is that if you say that it's true, then queue will wait for an acknowledgement from consumer to be sent. If you say this as false, then what will it will assume is that as soon as message is delivered to the exchange, it will acknowledge is that auto acknowledge kind of thing, and no manual acknowledgement will be sent back, and it will delete the message. So using this variable, we can say that if it needs to be done auto acknowledgement or it needs to be done a manual acknowledgement. So whenever you are implementing some sort of highly consistent service where you want that message to be delivered and processed, then you can go for manual acknowledgement. There what you will do is that you will send acknowledgement and then only message will be deleted. In this case performance get hampered a bit, but what you can do is, if you are doing some reports or some other things, generation and all those things where each and every message is not very important, you can go for auto acknowledgement. As soon as message is received, you will send an acknowledgement. Just like suppose if you are using some CPU performance or growth reports, you are trying to find out that how the growth is there in your system, then out of 5 million messages, even if you miss some thousands or some hundreds, it's fine for you. So we can decide depending upon the system if we need to send an auto egg or we need to send a manual acknowledgement to the system.